Yeah, we're back with the fourth segment of the Harry Thomas Show Week in Review. Today is January 26th, 2008. The website is harrythomas.info. I'm your host, Harry Thomas. Cheney, he wants the surveillance law expanded. Vice President Dick Cheney prodded Congress on Wednesday to extend and broaden an expiring surveillance law, saying fighting the war on terror is a long-term enterprise that should not come with an expiration date. Administration allies in Congress not only want the expiring law made permanent, but amended to give telephone companies and other communication providers immunity from being sued for helping government eavesdrop. Can you believe that? There's dozens of lawsuits already. They want to ban people from even being able to sue for invasion of privacy now. The Department of Homeland Security established a new domestic spying operation in 2007 called the National Applications Office, and described it as the executive agent to facilitate the use of intelligent community technology access for civil, homeland security, and law enforcement purposes within the United States. The office was to begin operating last fall to build on the long-standing work of the Civil Applications Committee, which was created in 1974 to facilitate the use of capabilities of the intelligence community for civil non-defense uses in the United States. For civil non-defense uses. They told us when they were putting together this expansion of the Homeland Security and all this other Patriot Act and all this, that these things would not be used on ordinary American citizens. And guess what? They lied again. Just like read my lips, no new taxes. They are spying on you. This is Big Brother. This goes against everything that our founding fathers shed their blood for, and it's an outrage. Spy chief plan to police the internet is likely tied to S. 1959, the Thought Crime Prevention Bill. Don't forget the Violent Radicalization and Homegrown Terrorism Prevention Act of 2007, also known as the Thought Crime Prevention Bill. S. 1959 is the vehicle Homeland Security will use to judge and imprison those who they deem are guilty. But it is this directive that will help compile what they will classify as thought crimes, and suddenly, like those who lived in fear while attempting to keep themselves alive in other societies that traded personal privacy for security, Americans will be fearful that they will use any means of communication, worried that the words said in anger or while being partially emotional could be used against them and given credibility when none actually exists. In similar situations and throughout history, families were broken up. The people as a whole lived in misery and fear, always afraid that they would be picked up by the Gestapo or other governmental stormtroopers merely because they had communicated with someone that the government believed to be a dissident. You know, and this is how they're turning America into a police state. You can't say anything against the government now or you're a terrorist. Okay? What I'm doing, supposedly, is a terrorist. As a free American exercising my freedom of speech, given to me by the First Amendment of our Constitution, is in jeopardy now. Okay? Just read the bills yourself. They passed the Patriot Act and didn't even allow Congress to read it. Oh, and this police state is just going further and further into insanity. And this came out of Clearwater, Florida this week. A 75-year-old woman was arrested at a McDonald's drive-thru because the police say she wouldn't pull her car forward. McDonald's employees told her to wait for her food. And this is what she had to say about it.
Well, she kept her nose clean for more than 7 decades, but a 75-year-old has now been thrown in jail.
She says it was for refusing to move her car while she waited for her food at a McDonald's drive-thru. Jean Marola says she was shocked.
Doing wrong? I was under arrest. I was under arrest because I was in the wrong parking space. I says, well, they told me to park here.
Marola says she had to pull forward to wait for her decaf coffee and salt-free fries, but she says she parked at a curb. A Clearwater police officer was soon banging on her window, telling her she needed to move and move now. She says he threatened to put her in jail if she didn't cough up her ID.
I said, no, I'm not giving you my registration and my license. What did I do that was wrong?
Marola says she got angry and cursed when the officer radioed in that she needed to be sent to a mental hospital. She also says after several hours in jail, She was released, and she did get an apology from the officer's supervisor.
And that's just ridiculous, you know? And she knows, the older folks know, that you don't just have to give your identification to the police because they say so. You know, she didn't do anything. But young people today are being indoctrinated and trained in our schooling systems and by the media and video games and everything else that it's okay to fall victim of police invasion. Random breath tests are planned for motorists. Police can currently carry out a breath test only if a motorist has been driving erratically, been involved in an accident, or committed other offenses while driving. The proposed changes would allow breath tests to be carried out at any time, even at roadside checkpoints. I mean, this is retarded. Feeling good? Take a ride on the taser. This is the new police state weapon. In South Carolina, a 75-year-old woman was actually tased in a nursing home. Police killed Mark Backlund with a taser when they found him uncooperative. A Utah State Highway Patrol officer tasered an unarmed, non-violent man after whom he stopped for speeding. And this got an investigation going out in Utah because he was caught, and that's the only reason. On the video, Trooper Gardenser even bragged to a backup officer on the scene that he'd made the victim take a ride on the taser. You don't have to be a psychology major to analyze the personality disorder represented by that line. And this is exactly what's going on. They're training the military to use torture, and then they're coming back here and becoming police. And this is the militarization of the police force in America. Walmart's pushing suppliers for RFID. They said by January 30th they're going to charge a $2 fee for any pallet that's shipped to its Sam Club distribution center that doesn't have an RFID tag. Now, over 15,000 Walmart suppliers have yet to comply with Walmart's RFID mandate, and they're trying to push this by 2010, period. The Mexican government is to use biochips to curb immigration. Here they are, they're chipping people again.
Mexico is taking drastic measures to control illegal immigration across its southern border. Now, Mexico will reportedly use an electronic chip to curb illegal immigration from Guatemala and Belize. The biochip implant will replace the so-called local pass currently being used to enter the country.
Now, Rudy Giuliani thinks you should have a real ID to get online. This is what he had to say.
And then we should develop a tamper-proof ID card. And then if you got the tamper-proof ID card, you'd be allowed to work, you'd be allowed to work, you'd be allowed to work, pay taxes, get online, become a citizen, follow the rules.
Scientists are creating a synthetic gnome. Scientists have synthesized the entire gnome of a living organism, a bacterium, an accomplishment they say could lead to the development of artificial life. Now, Alex Jones has a movie out called Endgame. You can learn more about the North American Union, the Bilderberg, and the eugenics that are going out to carry out depopulation efforts. I have all of his movies available now at the website, harrythomas.info, under Alex Jones Movies. I want to thank you for listening, and we will be back next week to expose more of this corruption and push for one world government. And I really do hope that you take advantage of all the information that I have available at the website. I mean, there is just mountains and mountains of information, because an informed public can make a difference, and together we will make a difference. And we will be back next week to expose more.